Dictation has completely rewired my brain. It has made me a more concise thinker, along with helping me become a faster and more efficient writer. It's made me more nimble so that writing feels like a brand new, more creative, more energetic process than it used to. And it's made me a healthier writer, physically and mentally, because I'm not stuck at a computer anymore. I can go tell a story or write a blog post wherever I want. But best of all, it's made me so much faster and more efficient when it comes to writing blog posts, emails, even books. So in this short course, I'm going to teach you how to use dictation as a repeatable system for turning your ideas into publishable drafts. We're going to talk about the tools and technology that makes this process so easy, especially these days. And we'll talk about the process you can use to get cleaner first drafts on the first try. I will also share tips for retraining your brain to write by speaking, because it's definitely a learned skill, but it's totally one you can learn. So at the end of this course, you will know how to get faster drafts with less friction and without losing your voice. In fact, I would argue that dictation makes your personal voice even more clear through your writing. And in an age where so many people are getting burned out and turned off by the AI slop all around us, I think we all know how important it is to retain your own voice. Why should you listen to me? My name is Jessie Quack, and I have written over 20 books, sci-fi, thrillers, nonfiction, as well as ghostwriting, self-help, business books, and memoir for thought leaders. I've struggled with wrist pain for most of my life, which is why I initially turned to dictation years ago. It was to relieve the stress of so much typing. But what I discovered was that dictation wasn't just a substitute for typing. Learning that skill opened up a whole new world for me. And as an author, ghostwriter, and book coach, I have dictated most of my books by now, and I've coached many of my clients through the process of learning to dictate theirs. Dictation can work for every kind of writer, but I have found that thought leaders and nonfiction authors in particular really benefit from learning how to dictate. Why? It's often an easier lift than it is for other kind of writers. So most thought leaders already have the skill of thinking out loud. They are teachers, coaches, leaders. They regularly go on podcasts or lead workshops, and dictation just takes that skill one more step. And as somebody who dictates both fiction and nonfiction, it's just straight up easier to learn how to dictate nonfiction because it's just so much more straightforward. Dictation also uniquely benefits the type of work thought leaders and nonfiction authors tend to produce. So dictating your first draft captures more nuance, conviction, and the humanness of your voice, and it helps you write in a more conversational style. Dictation also lets you think more freely and breaks through that perfection problem of writing at a computer and revising as you go. Dictation can help you see your ideas more clearly and explain them in fresh ways. Dictation also reduces distractions because it removes the screen and the internet, and who among us does not need that? It's also healthy. It gets you away from your desk so you're not staring at the screen, hunched over your keyboard like a shrimp, and you can walk if that's available to you. You can dictate in the bathtub, on your couch, while you're knitting, whatever. So let's dive in. As I said, this is a short, focused course to help you get started dictating right away. The point of learning to dictate is to become faster and more efficient, so I'm not going to waste your time with the fluff here. In Lesson 1, I will talk you through the available tools for recording and transcribing, and talk you through the tech stack that I use and love. And honestly, you could just watch that lesson and be off to the races, having gotten the full value out of this course. But in Lesson 2, we'll dig into more advanced tips to make your dictation process even smoother, troubleshoot common problems, and talk about the best ways to clean up and edit your transcripts, including some ways that you can use tools like ChatGPT and Claude to save you time without losing your voice. I've also included a few handy downloads, including some self-interview prompts, questions to get your creative juices flowing, and a set of AI prompts to help you clean up your transcript and organize your thoughts without the bots trying to rewrite your words. Like I said, dictation has honestly changed my life. It saved me countless hours of work by speeding up my writing process. It saved me tons of wrist pain and eye strain. But most of all, it's really freed my thinking so that writing and ideation come a lot more naturally to me now. I can see the difference in how confident I am when expressing my ideas impromptu on a podcast, when I lead a workshop, in coaching sessions, when I do a Q&A after a live event. I am so much more natural now than I used to be before I dictated. So there is a learning curve, but if you commit to develop this life-changing skill, it will be well worth the time that you put into it. All right, let's get to that first lesson where I will show you how to create a simple, streamlined dictation tech stack.